Hi and welcome back to the channel. So I hope you enjoyed that track created using Rando and Ghosthack Ultimate Ambient Bundle. So I got this in their sale, which unfortunately is only got 7 hours left. So by the time this video comes out, you will unfortunately have missed this flash sale. So it was only on for about 2 days, I think. So it's normally $70 and it was on sale for $14, which is about 10 quid, and it came with over 2 GB of samples and about 1,000 files. So you've got Ambient Motion 1, Ambient Motion 2 and Ambient Soundscapes. Just about 1,000 samples, so just over 300 in each pack. If I switch to pounds, you'll see, yeah, so it was £10.64 or it was £53. So we'll switch over to Rando and I'll show you what I actually did to create this. So here we are in Rando. So I had to update my samples. So if we go to sample locations, go to Ghosthack goes, yeah, so if you add in new samples, there's a little refresh button here. So if you click that, it will go through and it'll scan for any new file names. So I had to do that because I've just got one folder of Ghosthack, and you can see it tells me I've got 2,961 samples in that folder. You'd have to do that first before they would show up in the randomizing feature. So I went into settings and I put in Ambient Soundscapes and then just click Ghosthack. So it came up with 277 samples. The Ambient Soundscapes actual pack has about 300, so it's got most of those. So it was more than enough for the purposes of this kind of test. I'll run through all the ones that I've locked, but they went all in the track. There's some really nice guitar samples. So this is, so I'm running at 100 BPM for this and I'm in C. So that was one that featured in the track. And there was this one as well. And then this is the bass loop that comes in, and it more or less plays all the way through. And then it's a very, very simple drum beat. So you get that going with the bass, sounds pretty good. And then you get the guitar. And that was basically the track. Didn't take long, took me about an hour to do it. There's another guitar. So I used that one as well. And then there's a few drones, so I used that drone. And this one as well, I think. I used both of these drones. But they were pretty subtle. And then there's another drone, I think. Yeah, I used 2 of the drones anyway, I can't remember which ones now. They were quite similar. And then the noisy sweep, had that going. And then this was one of the other guitars. Very nice guitars. And then last but not least, the riser. And I actually put some effects on this. There's a couple of, I didn't really use the effects much, but this one's got delay and the filter on. So that kind of just plays right the way through the track as well, just like once every 8 bars. So yeah, so that was pretty much it. I have put in my first request, thought I might as well mention it. Put in a request for the save buttons to be up here. So if you want to save or overwrite a preset, because I randomized, I locked this off and randomized it quite a few times, and then obviously had to keep resaving and overwriting. So I did it about 3 times, I think. I got, I built it up and got different sets of samples coming in. So if you want to save anything, you've got to go up here, and then you've got to press preset, and then you've got to press save or new preset. So I have put in a request to say, could we have these up here? Because there's a big space up here doing nothing, and we could just have save and save new, you know, save and overwrite would come up. You could just okay that, because like I said, you do have to keep doing that quite a few times if you are trying to build up a kind of track. So anyway, so we'll switch over to Logic, and I'll show you how we got these samples into Logic. So here we are in Logic, and I have got Rando as an instrument on the first track, and then these are all the audio files. So the first problem that I've got, and maybe somebody can help me, I can't seem to play this when I've got it in Logic. Arturia keyboard doesn't seem to work, and if I press these, I'm not able to play any of the samples. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So if somebody could maybe let me know why this is not working. It doesn't make any difference what I do if I press it with the mouse. So these are just not playing, there's no sound. The Arturia set up in Logic as a MIDI input, and I said this is not working either, so I'm pressing the keys but nothing's happening. Anyway, so apart from that, it seemed to work. There's kind of two ways you can do this. So if I click on that, and then if you just click and hold, it will export and it creates a file, and then you can just drag it straight in and create a new track, and then it is, there we go. If I solo that, so that is, so my BPM's at 100 and C major, and that has kept that at 100. So if I used export, and then I've got wet on, if there's any effects, so you can either have dry or wet. If you put effects on, which I just left it on wet in case, because I couldn't remember what I'd put effects on, you can just drag it, if I just scroll up, and then you can drag it and put it in here. So that's now saying it's at 120 BPM, which was the original. But I have got Logic set up to adjust that. So you can kind of do it either way, and we'll just solo that, and it should sound exactly the same. So that's how you do it. So you've got two ways of exporting. I did it this way, just clicked and dragged, and that seemed to work really well. So for instance, if I picked another one, bass loop, and just bring that in, and there we go. That's the bass loop, so we can play them together. If you want Logic to align all these with different BPMs, you go into the project settings and smart tempo, set imported files to on and align bars and beats, and then you can also switch on trim start of new regions as well. So you don't have to have that on. So that is the one to use, and then anything you drag in will align. Yeah, so that is the whole track, and as you can see, I just duplicated it and muted the parts that I didn't like, is how I work. Other people work differently, but this is how I work. So I can always go back and re-edit it if I want to. So that is it for today's Rando Ghosthack Ambient Soundscape lesson. And if you enjoyed these videos, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And I will see you in the next one.